Welcome to Southern River Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and fitness. Well, special guest today as the spotlight on Logan Track and Field, one of the better programs in the state of Wisconsin, no doubt about it. Two outstanding Ranger student athletes, senior Sterling Roper, Tanner Boge. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Talk about two guys that left their mark at Logan High School. We're going to talk about that in depth. Before we do that, just graduated, and in the blink of an eye, everything's over with in this chapter of your life. Yeah. Not completely, because you're going to the next chapter. Mm-hmm. But Sterling, starting with you, let's look back. You're a freshman. You're just starting your high school. Some defining moments, some special times, some thoughts in your 4 years at Logan.
Well, I mean, I was in sports a lot. I think those are my most defining moments, especially like track, where like I didn't do that well my freshman year, so I was kind of like, I gotta put in some work and actually do something while I'm in my 4 years of high school.
So you put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so are you saying that perhaps your skill set, your gift, your athleticism was, maybe questionable, mediocre, moderate, but because of hard work, you made yourself into an all-conference athlete?
Yeah, I do. I do believe that. If I went to school, I was lifting in the morning ever since the end of freshman football, so it was just kind of just an everyday thing. I got used to it, and it just became part of my routine.
What was the inspiration?
Inspiration? Probably be the team, especially football. It was more of like, I'm doing this for like the people around me, so that I can hold my own when I need to.
That's pretty profound.
Yeah.
Who inspired you when you were young and gave you the kind of the gift, the encouragement? Like Sterling Roper, you can be an athlete in high school.
I would say my mom. She kind of pushed me. Like, she would not let me quit sports. I mean, I did a lot of sports. I did like tennis. I think I did pool one year. I mean, like I was in like almost every sport except for like cross country and just some other ones. But she pushed me. Like, if I didn't like the sport, she didn't let me quit. Like, she pushed me to ride it out and to do my best. And yeah.
At some point, did you think to yourself, "Mom, quit pushing me. I don't like this sport"?
No, I don't think I ever thought that.
You just went along with the advice of Mom. Well, Tanner Boge, next to me, and Tanner's brother was just on the show. Close family friends. His dad played for me for many years and was also an outstanding athlete at Logan. But your brother had a great career as a high school athlete, and so did you. You left your mark, Tanner, no question about it. We're going to get into details. But let's go back to the beginning with you, younger, even prior to high school. Who inspired you?
I would definitely say my dad. I mean, he grew up as an athlete and everything, so he kind of pushed me into sports like football, baseball, all of that. A little bit of track, but I didn't really get into that until freshman year. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he definitely was a big influence on my athletic career.
Is there some emotions that what you finish your high school, you're on to the next chapter in your life. Do you have some special thoughts? Do you have any regrets as you went through high school?
No, I think we did really well at state. I'm happy where it ended. I'm sad to see it go, but I don't think I have really any regrets.
You're both on the show because you're outstanding role models, but you're outstanding students too. So put your academic hat on for a minute and talk about your academic success.
I mean, my parents have been pretty hard on me in terms of like getting good grades, and like then again, they're kind of my role models for pushing me to not only do well on like the track, but also in the classroom and like making sure I have like a secure future at college and
Did you have a favorite class?
I mean, I liked a lot of classes, but I'd say one of my favorite teachers would be Miss Kaminsky. She definitely helped push me to like excel at math, and I'm probably going to take math classes next year because I'm going into engineering.
Did you have some classes where you struggled?
I definitely did. Obviously, in math classes, math is hard. I had to put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it, but I made it through all of them. So.
Certainly, I know your family real well too, and your mom and dad are educators, and you excelled in the classroom too. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of push, especially freshman year. I had a lot of push from my parents, but I think after sophomore year going into my junior year, it was kind of just me knowing that I need to do well in school. So I kind of took a hold of that, and yeah.
Classes, did you have a favorite teacher, somebody that not only pushed you, but went the extra mile?
I think Miss Colth. I really loved the way she pushed me. I mean, I've had a lot of English teachers, but I feel like I really developed as a writer and in the English field a lot when she taught me.
So you found your gift, and again, we're our guests today, Sterling Roper and Tanner Boge. But now you're on to UWL. Talk about what plans you have, Sterling.
Well, I plan on majoring in international business and have a minor in psychology and go through the ROTC program. So go into the military after that and hopefully do well in that.
Wow, that's impressive. So have you looked at the road, which is maybe daunting and challenging?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely considered all the challenges I may face, but I think I'm up to the challenge, yeah.
Good. So you enjoy challenges?
I do, yes.
Who inspired you and gave you the idea of going in the military?
I mean, the military has always been kind of my plan since I was like 5. I mean, I couldn't really tell you.
Going into the military requires not only physical, mental discipline and so on, but it requires leadership abilities.
Especially going through the ROTC program, that's a big point in leadership. Yeah.
Describe your leadership qualities.
I would say I'm confident. I'm not afraid to step up.
You're not afraid to go the path least traveled.
Yes, I think that's, I'm not afraid to do something because, I don't know, I'm not the type of person to kind of do something because everybody else is doing it. I kind of just go my own way.
Have there been some times in high school when you, as a leader and as a senior, you've been concerned about those that have gone the direction you don't like to see them go, and that maybe you could provide some redirection?
Yeah, I mean, I see that, and I mean, I try to redirect them, but in the end, I mean, I can't control them. I can't force them to do anything, and I'll try my hardest to kind of inspire them and kind of show them what they're doing, but yeah.
Well, Tanner, you can redirect people with some advice, with some role modeling, with some cautionary types of advice, and you seem to be the kind that has the similar leadership abilities that Sterling does. Describe maybe some ways you've used that in high school.
I know on the track team this year we had probably some freshmen, like we do every year, that aren't always the most cooperative, but I don't know, I'm willing to put myself out there in a way and say things that other people aren't willing to say, and I think that's really important as a team, to have seniors and upperclassmen being able to like talk and lead freshmen and sophomores.
You're a leader.
Everything.
You've accomplished a lot in the classroom. I see you in the hallways. You're well respected. So, leadership, does that come naturally to you?
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I've grown up with a lot of friends and done a lot of sports, and I think it's something you kind of just over time acquire.
Good, good. Well, we're going to step aside just a minute. We come back more as we profile two outstanding seniors from Logan High School here on Seven Rivers Sports.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again, our guest today, Sterling Roper, Tanner Boge. We're profiling these two student athletes from Logan as well as the track and field team. Just had another great season. We were talking about role models before, Sterling. And while I said off camera that all of us have people in our lives that have inspired us. I've had so many people you could fill a gymnasium that have encouraged me in my lifetime. You talked about your mom, and I know, because I see your dad around the halls, and I know his disposition and his ability to influence his students in a positive way.
No.
Something tells me that your mannerisms and your personality resemble him too.
Yes. Yeah, after kind of like thinking about your question, I think I've got a lot of his like calmness and just kind of his personality to like persevere and kind of be optimistic.
Yeah.
About things.
Yeah, and I notice that in the morning when I see him. I mean, he has that demeanor and handles kids really well, and you're soft-spoken like he is.
Yep.
So, Tanner, we talked about Sterling's future, but your future is right around the corner here too.
Yeah. Next year I'm going to Mankato University, and I'm gonna try and go into the field of engineering and maybe a little bit of business on the side.
Have you looked at the requirements, the curriculum, the difficulty in that particular? I'm sure you have, but I mean, is it like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a challenge?
It'll be a lot, but like I said earlier, I've had some great teachers in high school, and I think I'm up to the challenge.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Coach Mulrooney, who's a good friend of mine. And Coach Mulrooney was a longtime track and field coach. Now it's Coach Hack, but Coach Mulrooney a big part of it, and then the head coach in cross country. But I asked him a little bit about you two guys, and of course, I hope our viewers all know that that many area athletes advanced to state. I hope our viewers know that Logan won another MVC championship. And of course, according to Mulrooney in track and field, a big part was you two guys in going above and beyond and reaching some limits that maybe others didn't think in terms of your efforts. Let's start with that. A lot of people did not think the Logan Rangers would repeat again as conference champs. How much did that mean to you, Tanner?
It meant a lot to me. Going into senior year, we were seeded as the underdogs for conference, and Holman was supposed to beat us. And just being able to, as Coach Hack would say, like chopping the wood, just run after run, race after race, getting those places and those times down. Just each individual effort, we'd make it count, and it meant a lot being able to pull it off.
Well, and both focused athletes, according to Coach Mulrooney, and rose to the occasions in conference, sectionals, and state. Both all conference performers, both academic standouts, and then of course, as you said in the first part of the interview, Tanner, it all culminated by taking your 4x4 team to state. And talk about that and talk about your other events during the season.
So our 4x4, Sterling was on it. We were seeded 7th at regionals, and it was pretty impressive, I think, that we managed to make it to state. Everyone constantly PRing. Our time just kept going down and down, and a lot of grit. We pushed, not really for ourselves, but for each other, for like the team.
And you're a gifted 800, 400 mid-distance runner too. What does it take to be a relay runner and mid-distance and all those things wrapped into one?
Well, I used to run cross country in like the 2 miles, so being able to run 800s and 4x4s is not as painful, I guess, but it takes grit because it's not like the 100 where it takes pure strength. It also takes like a mental game. You have to push through like pain and like you just want to stop running and fall over, but
I know I'm a long distance runner. I know what it's like. So you feel a sense of joy, a fulfillment as you ended your high school days, in particularly track and field. That's you kind of carried that forward.
Yeah, I'll carry it forward into college. I know that I went through track giving it my all, my best effort, and I put it all on the table. And yeah, I'll just keep that rolling forward, I guess.
And Sterling, as exceptional as Tanner is, high and intermediate hurdles, you excelled in the triple jump, the hop, skip, and jump, similar to the long jump, which you see on TV in the Olympics and so on. And my memory is with a couple tremendous triple jump athletes in this country, Kenny Harrison and Christian Taylor. I think their record's 59 feet or something like that. But you're a multi-sport, a multi-event athlete, including, as Tanner said, advancing to state. So you were gifted in a variety of ways.
Yeah. Yes. Well, like I said, I mean, like, with Tanner, I mean, he brought up with the brotherhood thing of, like, we're a team and not individual. I think that helped a lot, just more than just, like, athleticism. There's just a lot of mental game and really emphasis on that.
Well, a lot of people struggle with a mental approach to anything. It requires discipline, sometimes meditation, reflection, contemplation, all those kinds of things. And many gifted athletes, Olympic-style gifted athletes, struggle mentally. How do you prepare yourself mentally?
Mentally, I mean, like, I do a lot of reflection, a lot of self-reflection, and just kind of, like, I think of what I need to do to be where I want to be, and then I do it. I mean, like, I don't wait around. I'm not lazy. Like, I get to it. I mean, yeah.
You chop wood.
Yeah, I chop wood.
So there's not a lazy bone in your body, is there?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying that.
Well, there's not many.
I'll get some stuff done. Yeah.
So if somebody tells you can't do something, what's your answer?
Watch me do it.
So you take that as inspiration.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever told you, Tanner, you can't do this?
Yeah, for sure. There's been things in my life that I've been told I can't do it, and I see it as a challenge, and I think it's fun to prove them wrong. So,
training, a big part of becoming an athlete, and you were gifted in multiple events and so on, but you didn't shortchange your goal by, you worked hard every single day where a lot of people struggle, and that's mental too, of course, but take us through real briefly a typical practice as you prepare on track and field for multiple events.
I mean, we're going from one event to another, especially in pre-meet. We're going from from triple jump to hurdles to handoffs. I mean, like, we're doing a lot of stuff, and that and, like, fighting like shin splints. I mean, me and Tanner both had those this year. It's kind of a battle of, like, just being prepared and not overdoing it.
So you in moderation. So you didn't overtrain, and you rested where a lot of people struggle with taking the time to rest.
Yeah.
And you were in multiple events too. Did you have a tough time going through practice and making sure you're ready for everything?
Like Sterling said, I had some really bad shin splints at the start of the year. That definitely held me back a little bit, but I did what needed to be done. I'd stretch before practice, after practice, I'd ice, and just put in the extra work just to make sure I could maximize my workouts and increase my potential.
In addition to the work habits and so on, you have a lot of young people watching the show. You have adults that have young children that someday want to be a Sterling Roper, that someday want to be a Tanner Boge. Academically, athletically, what advice would you give them?
Don't give up. I guess just keep pushing. No matter how hard stuff is, just push through it. Yeah.
Set goals?
I guess, yeah, set goals.
Starting in the classroom? Because you're a student first and athlete second?
Yeah.
Some people get 100%. That mixed up. And you knew that there's some high standards and platforms, and it's a gift and a privilege to be an athlete.
Yeah.
And so, if you're talking to young people, how do you craft that statement?
I'd say just hold yourself to the best you can be. Set the bar high for yourself. Like, not necessarily, you don't have to compare yourself to other people, just as long as you know that you're doing everything as well as you can, as long as you're putting out the times that you can really be proud of for yourself.
So your best friend or your worst enemy can be the face in the mirror. It's up to you, right?
Yeah.
Attitude seems to be a big part of your success.
Yes, I mean, given my piece of advice, I think very much, like, don't quit. I mean, you might lose the battle, you might not get what you want right away, but that doesn't mean that you can't win the war. I mean, you can not be good at everything, but you can persevere past the failures to success. And through that, you got to be positive. I mean, you can't. There's no way you can go through like persevering through something and being negative.
Is that what you'd say to a freshman?
I would say that to a freshman.
To that's about to quit in the middle of the track season, and he needs some encouragement. He needs a role model to pick him up, because your job and my job throughout this world is to pick people up. How do you do that?
How do I do that? Now, I mean, you approach him. I mean, you kind of ask him, like, what's wrong? Like what's the problem here? I mean, and you kind of, I mean, if he can't see like the positive outlook on it, then you kind of gotta like help him with it. Just be like, yeah, I mean, it's not the best situation, but you got to look at it as, I mean, you're in a sport. First of all, you're privileged, and you have an opportunity to do well. And yeah.
Well, it's been a great show, and I also promise our viewers that our guests are going to be above and beyond maybe the average. And certainly that's the case with two outstanding Logan Ranger student athletes that left their mark in a variety of ways at Logan, and culminating with taking their team to a conference championship, deep into the postseason and at state. So it's been a pleasure having Sterling Roper and Tanner Boge on the show. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
Who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. I hope you enjoyed our interview. Guests today, Sterling Roper and Tanner Boge, standout student athletes at Logan High School. Several local athletes were honored recently by participating in the WBCA All-Star Games in the Dells. On the girls' side, D2, Madison Lindauer from Toma. D3, Lexi Wagner from GET. D4, Erica Simmons and Katie Christofferson, both from Melrose Mindoro. D5, Caitlin Kennedy from Onalaska Luther. And D5, Danielle Waldera of Blair Taylor, Jessica Coatland from Kickapoo, and Erin Cratchy from Wazeeka Steuben. On the boys' side, several local athletes. D2, Noah Parcher from Central. Hunter Davis from Prairie du Chien, Division III. Division 4, Brandon Murfelt from La Crosse Aquinas. Division 5, Emery Bias from Onalaska Luther, along with Jared Payne from Seneca. We are broadening our list of guests as we look for ways to improve the show. If you have a thought on a guest or a topic, please contact us here at the studio. Please continue to check your local listing for Nights of Thunder Racing every Thursday and every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us this week. Next week, 2 outstanding blue-gold student athletes from La Crosse Aquinas, Elizabeth Horseman and Gracie Moline. You will enjoy that interview. Until next week, I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.